So what's going on, guys, and welcome back to episode number 9 of our Watford career mode, and we are going to be kicking off this episode with a very difficult game away from home at the Emirates Stadium up against Arsenal. And as you can see there, Arsenal do have their strongest possible line out, and I'm really hoping that we could at least try and get a point from this. Well, a point from this would be a massive result for us. But I thought it was going to be a very difficult game considering their lineup. Our lineup was pretty much the best we could possibly put out. We actually had Paredes at right back as well, because I think he's been doing pretty well. Engela, Prodal, Layun, and then obviously up top we have Troy Deeney and Vidra, and then just behind them we have Hatim, Mastor and Odegaard. So I think Odegaard's not doing too well for us lately. Mastor is doing pretty well, but they do actually get the first chance of the game in the 3rd minute, and they do come very close, but Mikel Arteta's shooting boots were surely missing in the early stage of the game. We do get a fantastic chance in the 60th minute. We cut inside past Monreal, we hit it, and we find the back of the net. Troy Deeney with an absolutely delightful goal, completely outwits Chesney. Chesney didn't think he'd squeeze it in from there. He stayed still and it hit the post in the process, and what a fantastic goal it was from Troy Deeney. Completely outwitted 2 defenders, cut inside, had the power and actually to beat Chesney. Chesney didn't move as he picks up his 2nd goal of the game, 2nd goal in the league and his 1st goal in the game. But we do then get another good chance here as we do then finally get the ball clear. It comes to Mastor to Wickham. Wickham beats Cazorla for pace because Cazorla's not the quickest of players, as Wickham keeps on going down the wing. He does very well, cuts inside, he shoots from a very tight angle, and Chesney somehow concedes yet again another goal from a tight angle. And I think Chesney, I've recently brought him in my Portsmouth career mode and I'm not liking him whatsoever. He's conceded so many stupid goals. He's made 3 or 4 mistakes already. He's made 2 fantastic saves, don't get me wrong, but stuff like that, a goalkeeper of his quality should not be allowing a goal to be getting at his near post. He's got to be clearing that and he's got to be making the save. But thankfully for us, we come up with an epic victory as we ended up winning the game 2-0 away from home at the Emirates Stadium up against Arsenal. What a fantastic victory, and we're hoping to continue that form into the next game up against Crystal Palace, which was going to be a difficult game because Crystal Palace, surprisingly, were currently sitting 9th in the Premier League table. So they're currently mid-table and they're not far from around about 6th spot either, because there's not much different between the points. So they are doing pretty well, and I thought it was going to be a difficult game, especially trying to contain the likes of Fraser Campbell, and obviously they've got Ruben Castro on the bench as well that they've recently brought in from Real Betis. So we had to be on our best of forms. We couldn't relax after our victory against Arsenal, and we wanted to get a good result. But the first chance game, unfortunately, did actually fall to them as Williams played the ball out wide to Wilfried Zaha. He does very well, whips the ball in the box. It comes to Fraser Campbell, and thankfully for us, he can only hit the post from a tight angle, and we get let off the hook in the early stage of the game. In the 20th minute, we get a good chance of Loftus-Cheek running down the box. He whips the ball in, it comes to Connor Wickham. Connor Wickham gets good contact, and Speroni pulls out a fantastic save to deny us. But then in the second half, Aurelio Gomez done exactly the same for us, pretty much similar. A similar chance, Fraser Campbell heads it, and Aurelio Gomez actually tips the ball over the bar. So very grateful of how we managed to keep ourselves on level terms. But Wickham plays the ball inside to Kingsley Coman in the 90th minute. It looks like everything was going to be done and dusted. It looked like we're going to be playing out a 0-0 draw. But Kingsley Coman uses pace, sprints past the defenders, and beats Speroni at the near post. I think the sheer pace on the ball completely outwitted him. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't react in time. And Kingsley Coman in the 87th minute looked like he might have rescued us and got us the 3 points. A fantastic goal from Kingsley Coman, and that is pretty much the reason why I brought him, because I know he's so quick across the ground. He's got very good shooting stats, and I would really recommend you guys to buy him. If you guys have any spare cash, or you want to loan him, you haven't got enough money but he's cheap on the wage bill, loan him. He is a fantastic player, whether you want to play him full time or whether you want to play him off the bench. He is a very decent player. But in the 90th minute, Anya, who had recently brought on for his speed to try and terrorise him down the wing, he cuts inside, plays a lovely ball through, and who is at the back post? It's none other than Kingsley Coman. He does very well to make up the ground. Even though we're in the 90th minute, he does extremely well, cuts inside, and thankfully he does put a fantastic ball in the box. Anya finds Coman, and Coman with the diving header manages to get there and slot the ball into the back of the net, picking up his 2nd goal in the game, and that is what thankfully got us the 3 points. So now you're going to see a squad report. If I am going too fast, feel free to stop the video and have a look at the player of your desire to see how they're progressing. But as you see, there's lots of greens, which is great to see, and it's good to see that a lot of players are starting to progress, and we're hoping they can continue to progress throughout the season. So what I'm actually going to talk about now is the new career mode, which I recently uploaded, which was the women's career mode. A lot of you guys said you're making it too easy, Yeovil, they're only like 2-star team, blah blah blah. So what I've decided to do, it's going to take me longer to do, but what I'm going to do is go in and edit every single side in that league, apart from obviously the big ones like Man City, Arsenal, and that, because they don't need upgrading. But the likes of Yeovil, I will make them into a minimum 4-star side, which will make it a lot more difficult for me, a lot more challenging, and I'm then hoping you guys will start to enjoy the episode. A lot of you guys did say it is a good idea, but you're making it too easy. So what I'm going to do is what I just said. I'm going to go ahead, make the teams a lot better than what they actually are. So upgrade the likes of Birmingham, Yeovil, Doncaster, etc. So what I'm going to do is build them up, make their players better than what they actually are. So basically it's going to take a hell of a long time to do. So be patient with me. I'm going to try and get it up as soon as I possibly can, that video for you. But I'm hoping you guys will enjoy it. And also make sure you come back soon, because the next player of the next episode of the My Player crew member will be up very soon as well. But we have the third and final game of this episode, which is going to be at home at Vicarage Road up against Swansea, and we get a really good chance in the 25th minute. We get a throw in. Odegaard plays the ball through to Paredes. Paredes plays the ball back to Odegaard. Odegaard finds Mastor, and Mastor scores an absolutely delightful header. Somehow he manages to get good contact on it. He's only a midget himself, but he gets really good contact on it. It loops up and down over the top of Tremor's head. He couldn't do anything to deny it, and what a fantastic goal it is from Hachin Mastor, as I think that might actually be his second goal in the Barclays Premier League, and I'm really enjoying playing with Mastor because I think he's a good, skillful player and looks very decent. We do have a good chance here in the final stages to whip it over the box, but unfortunately Tremor makes a save. But that's going to be it for this episode. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to hit the like button down below, as is very much appreciated, and I really hope to see you next time very, very soon for the next episode of My Player.